It's a first start since October for Kira Skeels, the defender, now fully recovered following ankle surgery and back to full fitness. It was a busy international break for Ellie Mason, who played the full 90 of both Northern Ireland's games. Gillian Kenny, she's looking to score in a third consecutive league game. And on the bench, the return of Gloria Cyber, who's now over her injury problems. As for the visitors, Portsmouth, no FA Cup game means it's almost a month since they were last in competitive action. Jay Sadler makes 4 changes to the side, beaten 2-0 by Newcastle. Teenagers Niamh Peacock and Evie Milner come in to make their full club debuts. Jessie Woolley starts for the first time since January. Top scorer Meg Hornby is not in the squad, but there is a return of Annie Hutchins, who's available for the first time this season. So, amongst that huddle is Lucy Fitzgerald, summer signing last year from London City Lionesses. She was named the WSL 2's February Player of the Month, thanks to 4 goals in 4 games. So there she is, Lucy Fitzgerald. Maybe taking her time to settle here at the Valley, but is in a rich goal-scoring vein of form. Want to continue that. As for the side that currently find themselves bottom of the Barclays Women's Super League 2, that is Jess Gray, who spent 4 seasons here at the Valley. She missed the reverse meeting, which ended in a 1-1 draw between these two sides back in December, so this is her first appearance against her former club. So we are just awaiting the whistle from our referee, Ryan Atkin. Well, Charlton, no. 9 or 10 more points from the remaining 21 will guarantee promotion. It could be an even lower tally should results in other fixtures over the coming weeks and days go their way. Portsmouth are fighting for their WSL 2 status. A strong showing tonight could help reset the momentum they need to climb back up the table. And it is the visitors with their captain Bull, who've launched the first attack. As you can see, huge pitch at the Valley. And Portsmouth keen to make good use of its breadth. Interception there. I think that is going to go out for a Portsmouth throw. Appeals for potentially a free kick there. But the referee didn't see any wrongdoing. Bull with the throw. Perhaps a little miscue there. Back to Peacock. Escort. Collins. It's a nice and tidy start here from Portsmouth. Still yet to really make an impact in that final third, but they're keeping hold of possession very nicely here. Reminder, this is one of 2 fixtures which is available for you live and uninterrupted on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. Elsewhere, it is Sunderland against Nottingham Forest, and we'll keep you updated should any goals go in that fixture. Newsham. Her throws headed clear. And Portsmouth have it back once again. Looking for the run of Shepherd, trying to get in behind, but Skeels does well. Back with the armband on as well. Kira Skeels has had to bide her time. It's credit to Karen Hills and the medical team that they've not had to rush her recovery. Obviously, their fantastic form. I wouldn't go as far to say that it hasn't been missed, but it has allowed opportunities for others. And as we know by the league table, Charlton have done incredibly well to get to this point, still unbeaten and still on track for automatic promotion to the WSL. Certainly, judging by the opening 2.5 minutes, you wouldn't suggest that this is a Portsmouth team low on confidence. And have they won the game's first corner? They have. So neat and tidy work there by Tia Primer. So let's see what the first set piece of the game has to offer. Looks like a training ground routine here. Lofted in. Awkward one for the keeper who doesn't claim, and it's bundled home. No, it's not. It's not going to stand it. Oh, it is. I thought the referee potentially had blown for a foul there, but what a start to the game for bottom of the table Portsmouth. They have the advantage. The goalkeeper is appealing. Sophie Whitehouse is not happy whatsoever, but the man whose opinion matters the most, Ryan Atkin, has awarded a goal. Well, a set piece started really well, Portsmouth. First set piece of the game. Looked to be something they'd practiced in training. The ball was lofted in. It was an awkward one for the goalkeeper. She fluffed her lines. And let's take another look at it here. Cross comes in. Bodies, traffic, contacts. Again, it's not clear exactly who it was who's going to be credited with the final touch there. We'll wait for confirmation, but what we do know is it's Charlton 0, Portsmouth 1. Well, coming into this game, first half goals have been very hard to come by. They haven't scored since the 11th of December against Charlton in the first half of a WSL 2 match. And for a side who many saw as favourites before the international break to go down to, be relegated from the WSL 2, what a start for Jay Sadler's side. It was very interesting listening to Karen Hills in her pre-match interview, and she, I think, sometimes maybe referenced the cliche about how every game is ultra competitive. Anyone can beat anyone in this division. There's a long way to go, but Portsmouth with a fantastic start. They have, though, some defending. I have been led to believe that the goal has been, well, bit of a dispute over the information. One source is telling me that Primer had the final touch. The other says Milner. Irrespective, I don't think Portsmouth care a jot right now, because as you can see, that graphic in the top corner says the most important thing, and they lead by 1-0 away at the league leaders. Well, it was a set piece which led to the undoing for Charlton at one end. Let's see what the hosts can do with their first opportunity with the dead ball at the other. Big weights, well defended. Portsmouth get the first contact. Charlton the second. Portsmouth the third. Still not cleared. Bradley looking to poke it forwards. Kenny had a stab. Portsmouth can't get it away. Need to clear their lines here, but credit to Charlton. They've won back possession. Not used to trailing here, the league leaders. 5 consecutive wins in the Barclays WSL 2 in front of their home fans at the Valley. And if that streak is to continue, they're going to have to come from behind. Ball over the top, which will go all the way through to Jess Gray. First touch of the football in live play for the former Charlton goalkeeper. Shepherd. Out there all alone, and Dow looks to slow her up. Appears to have done a good job. And the referee, though, has awarded the free kick to the visitors. So we do have confirmation that the Portsmouth goal goes to 19-year-old Brighton loanee Evie Milner. She was credited with the final touch for Portsmouth, her first ever goal in professional football, and it's very important given the current situation her loanee club find themselves in at the moment. But that has all changed. We'll look to bring you the live standings when we get chance, but Portsmouth are moving off the foot of the Barclays WSL 2. And they have a free kick here, but the referee, Ryan Atkins, not happy. If you did miss the goal, reminder, we are live on YouTube and you can scroll back and forth across your timeline there to relive the action. So as you can see on the right of your screen there, contact, jostling, bit of wrestling. That's what led to the opening goal. Portsmouth would love another here. It's an awkward one which has gone all the way in! Unbelievable! Who saw this coming? Inside the opening 9 minutes, Portsmouth are 2 up against the league leaders. There's a look of disbelief across those in white. But it's 2 set pieces that have proved to be the undoing for Karen Hill's side, and what a mountain they have to climb to get themselves back into this game. Charlton 0, Portsmouth 2. Had an awful long wait for this one, and it nestles all the way through. Absolute dream stuff for Portsmouth. And they find themselves 2 goals up. Well, if there was a bit of dispute about who got the opener, Milner, that was very clear cut. That Georgie Freeland scores in back-to-back games against Charlton. She scored direct from a corner in the reverse meeting back in December. This time direct from a free kick out wide once again. Incredible. If I was Jay Sadler, though, I'd be very keen for his side to just continue. They can't sit back on their laurels. So they are up against a very impressive Charlton side who've not been here at this stage this season, trailing by 2-0 in a Barclays Women's Super League 2 fixture. They've had to bide the time for most of the season, Charlton. A lot of goals in the second half, a lot of tightly fought games. They're not accustomed to scoring that many, and they find themselves at the moment trailing by 2-0. Newsham can't get away from the defender. That's well marshalled there. Good stuff from Portsmouth. They're going to certainly come under a lot of pressure here, but they've stood tall in the opening stages. They've got their reward by being brave, by being positive. 2 goals up, what a position. Generally what I've been told before, unless you've been told otherwise. Portsmouth once again come away with it. Quickly crowded out though. And this long unbeaten run of Charlton is seriously under threat here. This fixture was originally scheduled to be played in the first weekend of April, but due to Charlton's good run in the FA Cup, that weekend is designated for the FA Cup quarter-finals, where they'll be taking on Liverpool. I think, with all due respect, many saw this as perhaps a routine game for them, getting quick back into action after the international break, and another game which will quickly follow up on Sunday. But at the moment, their 27-game unbeaten run in the second tier of English women's football is being severely tested by Portsmouth. Shepherd wants a corner. Was caught from behind there by Endow. It was Endow who conceded the free kick, which Freeland scored directly from. And the angle is certainly against shooting from this one directly. But another opportunity to test this Charlton back line, which has had a very shaky start. Best defence in the division, Charlton. Conceded the fewest goals, just 10 across 16 games coming into this. Well, Durham scored 2 here at the Valley last time out. That game, Charlton did win comfortably in the end, 4-2. Could we be about to witness Portsmouth going 3 up inside the opening quarter of an hour here? Another set piece. Layoff wasn't the best. Sent back in by Bull. Charlton do win the initial header. Skill as it was, and I think there's a bit of an irony there that Charlton feel as though they did get the decision this time, but they should have felt, certainly for that opening goal, the free kick should have been awarded. Again, make your own decision, go back and scroll and revisit the 2 goals that we've seen so far. After just 3 minutes, it was Milner who opened the scoring, her first ever goal in professional football, and a 3rd of the season for Georgie Freeland, direct from a free kick. Shepherd trying to help it onto herself there. There was no one close for Portsmouth. This is what the visitors are doing ever so well. All these loose balls that quickly seizing upon them and winning back possession. They've done it again. Cohen with a more orthodox, old-fashioned clearance. Shepherd up against Endow, doing really well so far. Primer looking to play in Portsmouth once again. The shot comes across and it's well defended. Far from ideal start for Sophie Whitehouse. Her last clean sheet was against Nottingham Forest, so it's going to be just 1 in the last 8 appearances, but that won't be a concern in terms of a defensive shutout at the moment. It's whether or not her teammates can help produce that all-important next goal. Surely if Portsmouth can get a 3rd here. A side who have a record of 1 win and 7 defeats on the road in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 this season, are looking for more against the mighty Charlton Athletic. Good strength shown there to keep the visitors moving forward. Confidence just flowing through those in white and blue. Fitzgerald got there. That's important because Kenny can open up her stride now. And the first time we've seen Charlton stride forward, and Fitzgerald was on the stretch, but it does end up at the feet of Charlotte Newsham. He's asking a lot there of the American, too much, and that's going to roll through for a goal kick. Wow, chance to catch your breath. What a start to this game. Skeels has it. Newsham. Some big players for Charlton who've shone throughout this campaign. Flannery's one of those, and they need some of their superstars to step up here. And that's a lovely ball in behind, but well read by Jess Gray. Just the one clean sheet all season for Portsmouth's #1. That was back in September, their victory. Second game of the season against Sheffield United. And I'll be honest, when I looked at the remaining fixtures that Portsmouth had, I didn't look at many to think, yeah, that's definitely a very winnable game. Certainly when it comes to taking on the league leaders. But form has been well and truly thrown out of the window in what has been an electric start by Jay Sadler's visitors. Gray, direct with the free kick. Oh, almost ended up on the toes of Lucy Shepherd there. The striker with the outstretched leg. Not too far away from connecting. Charlton looking to build through the lines here. But they're coming up against a very impressive Portsmouth back line. As I mentioned, the data doesn't make good reading when you look at Portsmouth's form. Conceded the most, 6 straight defeats. But I guess the benefit of playing or going so long without playing is that Jay Sadler's really been able to work closely with the group. Not too many went away on international duty. And he referenced in his pre-match interview about they're on a 53-day mission, 6 games of Barclays Women's Super League 2 football. And obviously their aim is to take it game by game, but picking up as many points as they can. Kenny looking for Newsham. Newsham has it. Ran straight into trouble there though, but Portsmouth, I was about to say Charlton was still in possession, but Shepherd's working back for the visitors. Awaiting her options there. And the end result is a Portsmouth throw. Almost midway through the first half. Charlton 0, Portsmouth 2. So in terms of the goal count, we can quite clearly see that it's 2-0 to Portsmouth. Both efforts on target, finding the back of the net when it comes to possession. Charlton seeing more of the ball, but definitely the visitors with far more effective play so far. It's very football in 2025-2026 that it's been 2 set-piece goals that have provided the breakthrough, but Portsmouth will not care. Whatever means it is to drag themselves clear of relegation trouble, and so far, so good. So still a long way to go. We're only approaching the 24th minute, but this is the live league standings. Sheffield United are currently drawing. It's goalless so far in a 7 p.m. kickoff against Nottingham Forest. But as you can see, Ipswich it is, who now find themselves bottom of the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Maximum points is currently taking Portsmouth out of that relegation spot. And Dow. Moyes not really got into the game so far for Charlton. I think that can be said for us, quite a few in red. And that is a stern-looking Karen Hill. She's not been impressed by what she's seen so far from her side, and I think she's got a few choice words for the referee as well. Flannery pokes it through to Kenny, who's able to turn and face the defender, and unleashes a vicious shot, which is well saved. Big moment there for Jess Gray. Really opened up for Gillian Kenny, who's in a rich vein of goal-scoring form. She's back on the ball again. Hutton's cross. Not cleared. Fitzgerald with the layoff. Nice. Oh, that was awfully close there from Bradley. Well, Charlton starting to ask significant questions now of that Portsmouth defence. And what a very impressive save this was from Jess Gray. Not only to get good contact on it, but to palm it away from immediate danger. No doubt, well, highly motivated by the cause of keeping Portsmouth in the division, but obviously it was the decision to let her go last summer and bring Kenny. Wins it back for Charlton, but the decision actually is a Portsmouth throw. Looking very flustered here, Charlton. This was their latest effort. Bradley, oh so close there. Lovely feet, shifted it onto her left. Mason did well under pressure. Escort. Welsh international gets there once again. Just keeping Portsmouth moving. It's now over on that far left-hand side. Wasn't the best ball into Shepherd there. Didn't really give the striker much chance. And she was too enthusiastic in her attempts to try and win that back. There will be a Charlton free kick, which was taken too quickly for Ryan Atkins' liking. Charlton 0, Portsmouth 2. Elsewhere, choice of viewing here on the Barclays Women's Super League YouTube channel. It's Sunderland 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Keep you updated should there be any goal updates from that game. But understandably, there'll be a lot of eyes on this one. Lots of encouragement coming from the visitors' bench. And that is a man who constantly sends out positive messages despite the difficult and precarious situation his side find themselves in. I don't think he'll be taking any note of the live league standings. He knows that this is a formidable Charlton outfit under a very impressive head coach, and they won't roll over lightly, as we're seeing since that Portsmouth second goal. It's been chances few and far between for the visitors, and certainly Charlton seeing more of the ball. But they've got the most work to do. They've got to try and claw back at least 2 goals here. Flannery looking for Moyer. Gray comes. The ball did slow up ever so slightly, and she didn't claim that. Awkward moment there for Jess Gray. I think there was a coming together between her and Karen Moyer, and I think Well, yeah, the referee has decided that's a caution for the Charlton midfielder. First of the game. Certainly looked as though Gray was favourite to get there first. Here's the replay. It is a high boot there. It's an awfully apologetic Karine Moyer. Well, as we know, there's no VAR, no chance to re-referee that decision, but it was raised studs. It was contact with the opponent. Reckless, some would argue. Possibly a red card there, but it is a yellow. Confirmation there just on the top of the screen. Second caution of the season. Karine Moyer, who was up for one of the nominees for goal of the month in February, following her spectacular strike here in the victory against Durham. Let's have an overview of where most of the action has been, and as you can see, very busy in the middle of the park, but Portsmouth having a good spell of possession in and around the opposition box, but they're now defending their own box because Charlton have a corner. Their first of the game. And it's Jodie Hutton who trots over to that far side. Left-footed in-swinger forthcoming. Charlton delay there, run into the box. A player from each team is down. Both are back to their feet. Ball still in play with Bradley here. Bradley wriggles away into the box. Fitzgerald, not sure that was on target, but the block was made by Portsmouth. Fitzgerald wanted to take the throw there, but she heard the loud bellow of Jodie Hutton to leave it. Certainly looking to force the issue, the league leaders here. They've overcome the shock as they're finding themselves 2 goals down. But it is very much a reality here, and for their efforts, they need to get that next goal, and it's bobbling in and around the penalty area. Not fully cleared. Good spot by Flannery to go out wide to Newsham. Portsmouth working hard off the ball. Shepherd leading the press. And Dow has to go all the way back to Sophie Whitehouse. Skeels. Room here for Mason. Charlton captain once again. Ball over the top. Goalkeeper comes and will claim. Sweeper keeper, Jess Gray. Already, despite the scoreline, had a couple of crucial moments in this game. Sees her goal kick almost come straight back. Very physical game, which is good to see. Ultra competitive. Cohen. Peacock. One of 2 teenagers given their full Portsmouth debut this evening. Evie Milner getting her first goal in professional football, which opened up the scoring. Ball can't keep it in play. Fitzgerald's made the run down the line, ignored by Hutton, and I think there's just waiting for a teammate there just to reset, or someone to the right of shot. I think they're just being told to hold here. Kenny. Portsmouth intercepts. Well, he's a long way from getting on the end of that. So Skeels has time. It's a bit of a eerie silence throughout the Valley because you would anticipate it's a majority home crowd here who are used to success this season and very unaccustomed to the current situation that their team find themselves in. Trailing by 2 goals, 2 set-piece goals. And Portsmouth more than holding their own here, but they're being put to task here as Moyet brings Charlton forward. Newsham's ball in. Hutton onto a right foot. Oh, it was dipping. The decision is corner. Crucial touch. I think it was Peacock who was defending the Charlton number 12 there. Just making life difficult. Second corner for the hosts. Once again to be taken by the player who had the strike there, Jody Hutton. Goalkeeper comes, double palm, and effectively cleared there by Escort. Primer up against Endow. Fancies a chance, goes through her legs there. Endow with the recovery challenge. Newsham was in an offside position though. Lots of intriguing duels all over the pitch there. And you certainly got the sense that Tia Primer fancied her chances there up against the ultra-experienced Alicia Endow. Endow, we played a lot of top-flight football. Looks as though Charlton are set for a return to the WSL. But they might have to wait a little longer. Is it the first signs of a wobble, which can offer encouragement for those chasing, the likes of Birmingham City, Crystal Palace and Bristol City. I'm sure they'll have eyes on this game, as well as Ipswich as well, the foot of the table. The likes of Sunderland, Sheffield United as well. Fascinating battle, both to get out of the division and also stay in it. We're discussing what it's like at the top in terms of potential encouragement for those looking to close the gap. As it stands, it is staying at the healthy 9 points for Charlton, but Birmingham with 2 games in hand. Charlton play Birmingham on the final day, but Charlton very much focused on the here and now and trying to get the next goal. And once again, it's really well defended there by Portsmouth. Woolley looking to flick it on to Shepherd. Well, 2 goals here at the Valley and a goal for Sunderland in the other game, which you can watch live on the Barclays Women's Super League YouTube channel. Sunderland 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Which has further ramifications down towards the foot of the table. We'll bring you that in due course, but what it does mean at the moment is that Portsmouth are moving off the bottom of the table and Sunderland are moving further clear from that sole relegation spot, which is currently occupied by Ipswich Town. Busy weekend across the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. Choice of viewing. 1 game on Saturday, Sheffield United taking on Newcastle, and then the choice of 5 fixtures for you on Sunday. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and you'll receive notifications for all of our live action. And if this is your first taster of joining us here live on the Barclays WSL 2 YouTube channel, what a treat. Top versus bottom. Many saw it as a foregone conclusion. Well, this is why we love football. And Portsmouth are keeping things very interesting. They're defending here, though. Charlton free kick. And out. And Skeels are forwards. Delivery needs to be good. Too close to the goalkeeper. And Jess Gray happy to just eat a few more seconds into the time as we tick towards the interval. Cohen. And Dow's header. Bradley. Can't get out. Freeland does her bit. Good G. That was the cry from the visiting bench. Just keeping Charlton from gaining territory. Really unsettling the league leaders here at Portsmouth. Primer trying to wriggle away from Flannery. Shepherd back to goal. Does the important thing though, keeps Portsmouth in possession of the football. Knocking it around with such confidence here. Peacock. Captain Bull. Woolley, maybe a little too high on adrenaline there, looking to play in Primer in behind. Pass just lacking that vital bit of quality needed. What's the decision there? It's a Charlton throw. Left to Newsham. In front of the fourth official there, Lisa Ben. I'm sure she's heard a few bits of feedback from the Charlton bench, because I think it's fair to say they were not happy that the opening goal in the 3rd minute stood. Again, make your own mind up. You can rewind back, certainly during the half-time interval. You can look back at the key moments. Significantly 2 goals for Portsmouth, but also an excellent stop at the other end from Jess Gray to deny Gillian Kenny what would have been a goal in a 3rd consecutive WSL 2 game. Woolley trying to flick it on. Can't make the most of it, and once again Charlton find themselves back in possession. Cohen, very strong and firm there in the challenge, not letting Moya get away. Very competitive on the eye. What do the stats tell us? Well, you can see there's an improvement from Charlton. 5 shots, only 1, and that was courtesy of Gillian Kenny that stung the palms of Jess Gray. And they are beginning to increase more and more possession. And those key passes as an indication that they're looking to constantly test and get in behind those attempted through balls. Newsham back to Endow. Couldn't find anyone in reds. Flannery has it. That's a heavy touch though. Primer loses it. Flannery has it back. Looking to guide it into the path of Fitzgerald. Portsmouth can't clear it. Bull with the interception. Woolley all alone. Falls for Shepherd. Unfortunately for her, touch lets her down. Working hard though to try and win it back. And down. Trying to find Fitzgerald. Moya. Also looking for Fitzgerald's and Peacock. Good composure there from the 18-year-old. My apologies, 17. Turns 18 next week. That's how impressive Niamh Peacock has been. Arsenal loanee. Joins Portsmouth in the January window. One substitute appearance prior to the international break, went away with the England youth team, and it's fair to say Jay Sadler's more than been impressed with what he's seen from the youngster. Almost halfway to a clean sheet away at the league leaders. And that final touch came off Moya there. So it will be a Portsmouth throw, which, as you can see, they're not in any real hurry to take. It's going to be Evie Milner who opened the scoring in the 3rd minute. Into Freeland, the 2 goal scorers there over that far side for Portsmouth. Just want to see this one through to the break here. Portsmouth, no need to take any unnecessary risks. A very healthy scoreline. I'm not sure it's quite a performance which requires the hairdryer from Karen Hills. I think they'll feel aggrieved about the first goal. No complaints about the second. It was a direct free kick that found its way all the way through. But another reminder that if you're perhaps not quite at the level in this division, irrespective of the opposition, you will be punished. And that'll certainly be one of the messages that Sophie Whitehouse in the Charlton goal will take with it. And Dow. Milner wins the Hurst header. Just a few seconds away from finding out how much additional time there'll be here in this first half. Kenny's cross is blocked. 2. So at least 2 minutes more here before both managers can get their players inside the dressing rooms. Hutton looking to maybe change what is said amongst the home dressing room. If they can get a goal back here in stoppage time, half the deficit. Bull only half cleared. Hutton sat up nicely. She just shanked it there off the outside of her left boot. Head in hands, not the connection she was looking for. Referee's not happy with the placement of the goal kick. Does allow us another chance to see that latest opportunity for Charlton. Well, Jodie Hutton has come the closest so far. And Jess Gray has been cautioned here. For only what I can assume is the referee's issue with her spotting of the ball for the goal kick. So a yellow card apiece in this first half. Moya for Charlton, Gray for Portsmouth. But the all-important thing is who scored the goals, and that is the visitors. Prior to this evening, 1 point from the last 24 available in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 for Portsmouth. That's how bad things have been, particularly in 2026, that run of defeats. But what a potential reset they have here. We have played the minimum of 2 added minutes. Gray, with what Portsmouth will hope won't be too far off the final act of this first half, and that is the referee's whistle. Who saw this coming prior to kick-off? Coming into this top versus bottom, and it's the side in danger, battling for survival in the Barclays Women's Super League 2, who scored both goals. The first came in the 3rd minute from the teenager, Evie Milner. Bit of a scramble in and around the penalty area. Sophie Whitehouse, who's just disappeared, wasn't too happy. She felt as though she'd been fouled. And then direct from a free kick in the 9th minute, Georgie Freelands also managed to sneak in past Charlton's #1. They have had chances to try and reduce the deficit, Karen Hill's league leaders, but it's a deserved advantage at the break here at the Valley, where at half-time it is Charlton Athletic 0, Portsmouth 2. So no changes made by either head coach, Karen Hills and Jay Sadler, during the interval, so it is as you were. And what a platform Portsmouth have provided themselves with as we tick past the halfway point. 2 goals inside the opening 9 minutes of this fixture. I think it's fair to say it's a side who've been more accustomed to conceding goals than scoring them over recent months, pretty much since just prior to Christmas, is where the poor run of results started for Portsmouth. But the international break looks to have, I wouldn't say come at the ideal time, because of course they would have not wanted to lose 6 consecutive games, but the chances of them stretching that to 7 at the moment are slim. But this is a reminder, they're up against the best team in the division, comfortably the best team in the division, the league leaders with a healthy advantage over the rest, Charlton, who are unbeaten. And looking to get themselves back into this game. You have to go all the way back to November 2024 for the last time that Karen Hills' side lost a Barclays Women's Super League 2 fixture. That was against Bristol City. And this, the 28th subsequent game. And in order to keep that invincible tag intact, they need to score at least twice here. Flannery. Certainly, if that was my voice being heard in the home dressing room, it would be get more of Charlton's passing players on the ball, looking to break down Portsmouth. But a lot of credit has to go to the way Jay Sadler's prepared his team for this game. So sharp in the challenge, so alert to those loose balls. And look at the confidence there. What a flick that was by Milner. Reminder, she was the one, the teenager, who started the goal scoring in the 3rd minute. Freeland, who's just seen the ball roll out of touch, she doubled that advantage in the 9th minute. And Charlton have been chasing ever since. Kenny has support from Newsham. First time cross, wasn't the best. Hooked clear. Endow sends it back. Flannery can only present it back to Primer. Her captain is Bull, looking for Shepherd down the line. Not yet to find the back of the net for Portsmouth, Lucy Shepherd, but does a lot of hard work, being a nuisance to defenders, a constant outlet as well, good running off the ball. And this has been very much a team performance from Portsmouth. Jess Gray just taking her time over this goal kick. Moya gets there. Can't link up with Fitzgerald. Bull, first time into Primer. Flannery's across. Looking to make life difficult. I think she's overran that there. Good play there from the West Ham loanee. Ball over the top, looking for Fitzgerald. who's yet to have a sniff, really. She's been in superb form of late. Lucy Fitzgerald scored the only goal of the game in booking Charlton's place in the FA Cup quarter-finals, seeing off lower-tier Oxford. Shepherd trying to make life difficult for Endow. Goes back to a goalkeeper. Did well there, the centre-half. Awkward one. Moyer sends it down the line to Lucy Fitzgerald. Nice turn. Support comes from Newsham. Back to Fitzgerald. Moving the ball well here, Charlton. Looking to switch play. Almost a perfect pick out over that far side, looking for Hutton. Fitzgerald shakes off the defender, creates a bit of room. Was she caught late there? It was right in front of the referee. Moyer, Newsham. Oh, I think the referee will argue there. He played the advantage. Charlton perhaps wanted the free kick for that initial contact on Fitzgerald, but the ball did make its way through to the fullback, but she couldn't hit the target. Moyer trying to roll Milner there. Some strong defending there from Izzy Collins. Let's have a look at that advantage played by the referee, Ryan Atkin. I'll let you draw your own opinion as regards to whether or not that was a free kick. Moyer keeps it alive, just hooks it around the corner there. Fell to Newsham. She couldn't hit the target. And I have received an update. We have been talking, well, I've been talking all evening about it was Evie Milner who was adjudged to have got the first touch for the opening goal for Portsmouth. I now understand that that's been taken off her. It's now been awarded to Izzy Collins. So Izzy Collins and Georgie Freeland are the two goal scorers. I'm sure Evie Milner's first goal in professional football won't be too far away, but Izzy Collins has her first ever professional goal. Fourth season at Portsmouth. Her first goal for the club. And it was a third of the season for Georgie Freeland and a first away from home for the midfielder, direct from a free kick. Reminder, you can revisit that on our YouTube channel. You can skip back in any break of play to watch the best bits and then quickly scroll to rejoin the live action. And elsewhere, it is still also in the second half, a 7 p.m. kickoff as well. Sunderland 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Kenny got the shot off and it's touched behind by Gray. Good save once again from the Portsmouth goalkeeper. Hutton comes across to take Charlton's first corner of the second half, third in total. It's a very busy 6-yard box. In Swinger. Well met by the Portsmouth back line. Moyer looking to strike it. Bradley, is that going to fall all the way through to Gray? It does. Hutton first to it. Moyer will get there. Going shoulder to shoulder there with the youngster, Evie Milner. And it's the impressive Milner that comes away in possession. And look at that for a spot. Finds Primer. Unfortunately for her, ball got stuck underneath her feet. And Charlton are coming back in the other direction. Well, Jess Gray has the ball at her feet, and there's going to be a stoppage because Karen Moyer has stayed down. She's going to receive medical treatment. Chance to look back at this save once again from Jess Gray. Been a busy evening so far for the 25-year-olds. Four seasons at Charlton. Obviously was the understudy to Sophie Whitehouse last season. Moyer receives treatment, and Hills, her head coach, can relay some crucial bits of feedback alongside her assistant there, Charlie Cave. There are a few Portsmouth players over in the technical area, but the majority, as you can see, in that huddle, which is now dispersed in terms of those crucial match statistics. So it is Charlton who continue to increase the number of shots that they've had. One on target in the first half and one early on in this second. And they are still enjoying the majority of possession. But as of yet, it's looking pretty comfortable for Jay Sadler's side. Looks as though Karen Moyer, unfortunately, her evening is going to be cut short. First change from Karen Hills sees the return of Gloria Seibert. And this is an interesting one, not like for like. Alicia Endow is being replaced, and on comes Mary McAteer. So that may be, well, certainly a personnel reshuffle in terms of positioning, because McAteer is definitely not going to be playing second half. Moyer, thankfully, is on her feet. Doesn't appear to be too much concern, but no risks need to be taken unnecessarily from Charlton. It is, of course, only one game, and I'd be pretty surprised if this completely throws them off the current mission, which is to secure promotion. But, well, they were looking to be, well, are still looking to be the first ever Barclays WSL 2 side to go the whole season unbeaten and win the league title. The league title very much still not in their own hands, but certainly in their control. But that unbeaten record looks to be slipping away from them.
Substitution for Portsmouth, replacing number 19, Jess Woolley, is number 18, Angelina Nixon.
So, Portsmouth's first change of the evening sees Jess Woolley being replaced, and that is Angelina Nixon, who's waiting to come on. Woolley taking the more direct route straight to the dugout rather than exiting via the halfway line. So that is pretty much like for like. Confirmation, should you require it, in the top corner there of those changes made by both Charlton and Portsmouth. And one of those, Gloria Seibert, going to make inroads down this right-hand side. She's done well, won back possession and continued moving forward. Seibert gets away from Cohen. Cross ends up on the roof of the Portsmouth net. Well, an immediate impact from Gloria Seibert, who has had a spell on the sidelines. Talked about players not necessarily playing in their natural position. She has found most consistency at right back, where she's more of an offensive player, as we just saw there, providing the width and the delivery. Further reminder to Portsmouth, should they require it, that there's a lot of talented footballers in this Charlton outfit. And this was a free-flowing Gloria Cyber. Cyber again. Skeels. Was she caught late there? Referee saw there was no advantage gained there for Charlton. And I think Angelina Nixon's first contribution to the football game is to be cautioned. Seconds after coming on, she's shown a yellow card. Skills is okay to take the free kick. Hour gone. That's nice. Charlton trying to play their way through here. Flannery still has it. Pokes it wide. Newsham's ball in. Luke's decent. Goalkeeper can't get to it. McAteer can, but she can't hit the target. Well, both substitutes for Charlton. Clearly relaying the instructions from their head coach to get in the opposition box and make a nuisance of yourself. Cyber, her whipped in cross, and McAteer getting on the end of that delivery. But still, as of yet, as you can see, no goals for Charlton. Freeland. Ball's going to roll out of play. Chance to revisit this latest opportunity for Charlton. Newsham's ball in, and McAteer, she was on the stretch, leaning far right there. Couldn't guide the contact to ensure it would have worked. Jess Gray. But they're still coming forward once again here, Charlton. Ball comes in, and the goalkeeper just got there ahead of McAteer once again. The fingertips of Jess Gray, but play has stopped because, well, Gillian Kenny's back to her feet, but two Portsmouth players are down. I think one's cramped, one's a more serious concern in terms of a heavy impact there. Got a clear indication of Portsmouth putting their bodies quite literally on the line here to try and preserve this 2-goal advantage. So another stoppage of play allows the entire Charlton 11 to go over and speak with Karen Hills, Charlie Cave, Neil Moore, the goalkeeping coach as well. I'm sure he's got a few words to share. Emily Thestrup has got the tablet there with the yellow bib on. She's clearly had her instructions as regards to what she needs to do. So it looks as though another attack-minded change is forthcoming for the hosts. So it does give us, we just see there, they're just the two players rolling away there. Didn't quite get enough to see the exact moment of contact, but immediately concerned there from Jess Gray racing over to her teammate just to see that she was okay. So no one being readied for a change here from a Portsmouth perspective. But Charlton are going to make
Substitution for the addict.
another switch. And Gillian Kenny won't make it 3 goals in 3 consecutive WSL 2 league games. And Amelie Thestrup comes on. That has been the notable change, certainly in 2026, that Thestrup started, the first 12 games leading the line, deservedly so, given her reputation and goal-scoring calibre in English football. But the American Gillian Kenny has certainly taken her chances and got the favour of head coach Karen Hills. But Thestrup with at least 25 minutes plus stoppage time to do her bit to try and win back that starting berth. And if she can get a goal here, we could be set for a dramatic finish at the Valley. Portsmouth are back up to their full 11 now. Izzy Collins, who required treatment, who scored the opening goal, is okay to continue. So Charlton into double figures here in terms of shots towards goal, but still not testing Jess Gray significantly. I'm hesitant to say it's been a comfortable evening, but she's been kept busy, Jess Gray, but has stood up to everything thrown at her as of yet from Charlton. And if you were from planet Mars and you were suddenly beamed down and said, look at this game of football, you would have not said that the team that are leading had lost their previous 6 league games and been shipping goals quite comprehensively of late. Defence has been a real issue. But the current scoreline presents the current live league standings, which show Portsmouth moving off bottom spot. Escort wants a free kick, doesn't get it, and there is that confirmation. Ipswich slipping to the foot, and it's a 2-point difference between them and Portsmouth. But as you can see, though, Portsmouth have played the 2 extra games. We're going to have some, I'm about to say, substantial additional time, but there's been a very stop-start nature to the last 5-10 minutes in particular. Player fatigue, a few knocks and niggles, as you can see, lots of stretching going on. And I can see there at the top of the screen there, just left of centre, that Portsmouth are readying a change. Doesn't appear to be immediate at the moment, but certainly receiving a few final bits of instruction. And in terms of the action areas, again, very heavy in the middle of the football pitch. Charlton certainly having more of the ball in the opposition box compared to Portsmouth. But Portsmouth have 2 goals in the bank already.
Substitution for the addicts, replacing number 3, Charlton, number 5, 25, Lizzie Waldy.
Lizzie Waldy is the latest player to turn to off the bench. Charlotte Newsham was the one who made way.
Substitution for Portsmouth, replacing
Lizzie Waldy, in fact, making her league debut. So January signing, dropping down from Scotland to play in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. And the change in the back line for Portsmouth sees Greta Humphreys introduced. So Newsham off, Waldy on for Charlton. was the scorer of the first goal, who did go down and require treatment. Izzy Collins, she's been replaced by Greta Humphreys. It's a very young back line. It's a very young defensive squad for Portsmouth. Hannah Cohen, who's been an ever-present, 24 years of age, the oldest of those personnel that they can currently turn to. I guess that's a sense of perspective that maybe some people have questioned whether or not Jay Sadler would have remained in position given the losing streak that looks set to end here this evening at the Valley. And it is a young, growing team, Portsmouth. Second season at this level. Once again, it's another relegation scrap, but I think that's where the expectations probably were shared across those powers that be and the coaching staff, given the players and the recruitment, again, which is looked at youngsters as well and those who have come in from abroad, the likes of Lucy Shepherd, who's been playing a football out in the States, likewise Charlie Escourt. It's not established WSL 2 names that they brought in. And that's a neat ball looking for Thestrup, but it's well defended. Mentioned Hannah Cohen, yet to miss a second of Barclays Women's Super League 2 action this season. Every game, it's incredible that the resilience and the fitness levels required to not pick any knocks and be one of the first names on the team sheet. And she's now watching on as Lucy Shepherd, all alone, tries to make something of this attack here for Portsmouth. She's fended off by Hugh Skeels, and that is a Charlton throw. 18 minutes of normal time plus stoppages between what would be a famous win on the road for Portsmouth FC. McAteer goes through the legs of Shepherd. Referee pulls it back for a free kick anyways. Still Sunderland 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Choice of viewing here on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. And a reminder, after Wednesday, it's a very busy weekend of action across the channel. Hit subscribe for notifications for all of the live action. 1 game on Saturday, 5 on Sunday. Cyber for Charlton. Bradley. Dispossessed by Freeland. Shepherd has it. Primer's off and running over that right-hand side. Ball doesn't get to it. It's eventually hit long and nowhere near. Portsmouth 22. That's a nice fake there. Ball flicks it up off a Portsmouth leg, and the ricochet fell kindly for the visitors, and it's in the grasp of Jess Gray. It was a comfortable league double for Charlton last season over Portsmouth, 3-0 and 5-0 victories. It was a 1-1 draw between these two at Portsmouth back in December. And Portsmouth are trying to secure all 3 points here. Good block by Bradley. Angelina Nixon with the dribble and shots. Primer still probing here. Cross is deflected. Will she get there for the loose ball? She does. Bull. Helped on by Nixon. Can't get it on target though. Important for Portsmouth to continue reminding Charlton that they have goal threat, that they aren't prepared just to sit back and park the bus, as we would say. So it's the first time in this second half, notably, that Portsmouth have created an opportunity. Two in quick succession for Angelina Nixon. We saw the header there, which was the more difficult of the two, but a neat dribble and attempted shot, which was well blocked by Charlton. But I think a lot of plaudits will be going the way of the visiting back line, who've conceded 41 goals in their 16 WSL 2 games coming into this, but on course for just a second clean sheet of the season. And certainly, if they want to remain in the division, being hard to beat, i.e. stopping the opposition from scoring, is definitely a prerequisite. It's almost a year since Portsmouth kept a clean sheet on the road in this division, and they now have a corner thanks to the excellent work of Evie Milner. Gets a hug off her teammate there, Shepherd, and just saying, don't rush this, let's take our time. Freeland's already shown what she can do with a dead ball, scored the second goal. And surely if the visitors can get a third here, it'll put the result beyond all doubts. The referee asking for a pause there, not happy with the jostling that's currently ongoing. Ball is well struck, and there's a good leap there from, once again, Angelina Nixon. Substitute has certainly gotten amongst it since coming on. Hasn't scored since November, but as we're seeing here this evening, not for a lack of trying. Primer. Looking for Escort, crowded out. Combination of Hutton and Bradley stopping it. Bull takes a touch. Clearance finds touch, Charlton throw. With each minute that passes, the belief amongst Charlton will be harder to maintain that they can still get something. They have, in fact, only scored 3 goals in the final 10 minutes of normal time in the Barclays Women's Super League 2 this season. That's by and large because a lot of the games they've held pole position and they've been able to manage it and get over the line. Just a chance to see that corner that was swung in. Almost a bit of a piggyback there from Nixon to try and get the leverage to meet the ball. And they do not quit here, Portsmouth. Still looking for another goal. Primer out-muscled. She's going to stay down, in fact. Not sure the referee spotted it as of yet. And if he has, he's happy for the action to continue. Portsmouth are not happy because they're defending with 10 here. Primer still out of shot to the far left. Portsmouth moving towards the... Charlton moving towards the right momentarily. Loose touch from Shepherd and almost took out a member of the Charlton coaching staff there with the slide, and a few groans amongst the home supporters because Portsmouth are stopping the game here in order to ensure that they can get the medical treatment on. 2 players down on the haunches. It's required that level of effort and commitment. And so far, keeping Charlton at bay.
Substitution for Portsmouth replacing 22 Primer, number 8
Ava Rowbotham has come on, and it does bring to an end an impressive evening's work for Tia Primate. She's the Portsmouth player to make way. Cyber for Charlton. Slowed up by Nixon. McAteer likewise stopped by Milner. Waldy. Well, no doubt the big winners are certainly Portsmouth, but in terms of the picture at the top of the table, encouragement for both Birmingham, Crystal Palace, Bristol City and Newcastle, the sight of Charlton dropping points. They still have that very healthy 9-point gap, but as you can see, they played 2 more games than Birmingham and then 1 more than Palace and Bristol City. So if this wasn't captivating enough, this game is further boosting the narrative in terms of the battle for promotion. Well, that's the top. What about towards the bottom of the table? A reminder how that currently looks for you. Ipswich holding everybody up at the moment. Of course, there'll be an action this weekend. Portsmouth, though, moving 2 points clear of the relegation spot. And also the game that is also live on Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. Choice of viewing, and it is Sunderland still a goal to the good up against Nottingham Forest. Reminder, we will have condensed highlights dropping in the next 24 hours to relive the best bits from both of the games taking place on this Wednesday evening. These two sides were scheduled to meet in the League Cup back in October, but that had to be forfeited by Portsmouth due to their substantial injury list at the time. Karen Hills on the edge of her technical area, currently looking at that unbeaten record being ended here by an unlikely source, it has to be said. But credit to Karen Hills, she certainly relayed that message publicly to the media, that I'm sure she said the same in the dressing room, that Portsmouth should not be underestimated. And this is arguably one of their best ever performances in the second tier of English women's football. No one has managed to topple Charlton this season. Bristol City were the last team to do so back in November 2024. It's been a hell of a run, and it could be about set to end. Cyber there, so close to getting on the end of that cross. Denied, though, by the defensive work this time from Angelina Nixon, doing her part at both ends. Skeels thought about the cross. As you can see, tired Portsmouth bodies, but they're all back behind the ball. Still need to defend this well. McAteer almost getting in there behind Milner. Teenager did well, sent back in by Flannery. Awkward one, and cleared by Peacock. Only as far as Bradley, who goes down. And that will be a Charlton free kick. It's an anxious look across many Portsmouth face there. This is a real opportunity here for the hosts. An apologetic wave of the arm from the offender there, Lucy Shepherd. Bradley, who won the free kick, is joined by Jodie Hutton. The two candidates to strike this ball. Do they go low? Do they try and get it up and over? Hutton it is. Ooh, does well to get it up around, and it was dipping, just not quickly enough. It's not been for a lack of trying from Charlton. They haven't been anywhere near clinical enough, in stark contrast to their opponents, who made the most of that incredible opening 9 minutes to this game, which, as it stands right now, will live long in the memory of both these players and their supporters, whether they're here inside the Valley or watching like yourself at home. Estcourt hit the back of Hutton there. Heavy touch from Flannery. Shepherd, can she get on the end of that? Waldy with the final touch, so that'll be a Portsmouth throw. So the suggestion there from Jay Sadler that it should have been more than just a throw. Well, the referee's racing over to the Portsmouth technical area. A yellow, but I believe was shown. I'm not sure if it was for a player on field or a member of the coaching staff. It was shown to Jazz Bull, the Portsmouth captain, for delaying the restart, I can only assume. Estcourt. Shepherd, who's continued to work tirelessly, always willing to provide an option, and she's heading for the corner flag here. Portsmouth have it, and it's a throw. Shepherd stayed down. Did look to be a bit of heavy contact on the striker there from behind. A blow of the referee's whistle, and she was able to recover quite swiftly. She's back in possession, keeping the ball as far away from Jess Gray and the Portsmouth goal as possible. What's the decision there? It's going to be another Portsmouth free kick. Much the disbelief of Ellie Mason, who's got a few words over the far side for the assistant, Joe Karam. Looked pretty clear-cut to me, though. I don't think there can ever be any real sense of injustice from what we've seen so far from a Charlton perspective. This is a under-pressure Portsmouth outfit battling for their WSL 2 lives here. And they're putting in a performance that could really boost those hopes in terms of the momentum that it could provide. Another big test for them once this one's done and dusted, though. Sunday at home. The visitors are Bristol City, a game which you can watch live here on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. And it's a quick turnaround for Charlton and Sunderland. The two meet on Sunday, both in action on this Wednesday evening. Charlton looks set to slip to defeat. Sunderland currently winning against Nottingham Forest. Robotham. Shepherd again. No subtlety whatsoever. Very direct, aiming for that corner flag. It's a Charlton throw in the 90th minute. We've seen a number of substitutions and quite a few players going down injured who've had to receive medical treatment, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the sight of potentially 4, 5, if not more, minutes of stoppage time. Another the Charlton throw. Skeels. I guess the sense of Charlton belief will largely ride upon how much additional time there will be. I can see Lisa Benn preparing the board at the top of the screen. Wow, 9 more minutes at least here. And a few rallying cries, I would assume, coming from those associated with Charlton Athletic. That is just the type of news that they wanted to hear. Far from it if you're connected to Portsmouth. But I reference there has been numerous stoppages in this second half. Waldy into Fitzgerald, who's been uncharacteristically quiet all game. Escort, Bull. Skeels for Charlton Athletic. Still trailing, 2-0. Both goals coming inside the first 9 minutes. Collins and Freeland, the goal scorers. It hasn't really been a clear-cut opportunity for Charlton to reduce the deficit. A huge factor in that has been the ultimately impressive defending from Portsmouth. Looking to hold out here. Cross comes in, it's squirmed by Gray. Falls to McAteer, still in play. And she can't get away from Nixon. Slick feet, tight area on this near touchline, and look at that. Just what a head coach will want to see. So positive, just doesn't aimlessly kick the ball clear. Drives the team forwards, gets the free kick, and it's a caution, a first of the season for Kira Skeels. Well, coming into this fixture, Portsmouth had conceded 14 goals across their previous 6 games in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Which adds further weight to how impressive this clean sheet looks set to be. Charlton, as it stands, looks set to fail to score for only the 2nd time this season. Their previous outing where they were unsuccessful in all attempts was a 0-0 draw here at home against Ipswich back in September. Nixon can't keep hold of it. Bradley looking to help it on. Cohen had other ideas. Good spot. Estcourt. 3 of the minimum 9 already complete. Swagger about Portsmouth here. They couldn't add a third, could they? Nixon. Control let her down. McAteer. That's the decision. Charlton throw. Well, it looks as though the majority of this crowd are going to be heading home disappointed, but what a journey across the M25 it's going to be for Portsmouth as they make their way back. An absolute gear shift in terms of what potentially lies in front of them. In terms of those remaining fixtures, I've already referenced they're at home against Bristol City at the weekend on Sunday. Sunderland at home follows. Sheffield United away. Nottingham Forest at home before a final day game away at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace very much in the shake-up for promotion. So Portsmouth, if they can, they won't want it to go down to that final game. But they can take so much heart, confidence and belief that they can compete and are deserving of their Barclays Women's Super League 2 status. And this is going to be the first significant bump in the road for Charlton, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they react. You can watch that live on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel. They host Sunderland here on Sunday. So recovery will be paramount for Karen Hills and her outfit. They'll have to quickly shrug this one off. And there is a gap here. I was about to say for Freeland to race into, but understandably she just wants to keep hold of the ball. Links up well with Milner. So in terms of defensive statistics, look at that. Interceptions in particular from Portsmouth. Blocks. Really putting it all out there in pursuit of what many would have perceived as an unlikely 3 points on the road here. And this is largely because the perilous streak that they've been having. Also the fact that prior to this evening, 7 of the 10 points that they have accumulated had come at home. So there's been numerous difficult away days, but this one is going to be right up there. A huge result just a few minutes away from Jay Sadler and his team. Charlton just being told to retreat in terms of the exact location of the throw. And we do have a goal update to bring you from elsewhere, and this will further improve the mood of Portsmouth. Nottingham Forest have equalised in stoppage time. Sunderland 1, Nottingham Forest 1. So that further tightens up the pack at the bottom. Once the game is complete here, we will look at the league standings heading into the weekend. But here is the current picture at the foot of the Barclays Women's Super League 2. We already know that with this result, Portsmouth are moving off the bottom, but they are now level on points, thanks to Sunderland being pegged back by Nottingham Forest. Still playing, still 1-1, but it means that Portsmouth are keeping tight on the heels of Sunderland. But the big, far from elephant in the room, but the context to apply to that is Portsmouth have played, in the case of Sheffield United, 3 more games. It's always a case, do you want the points or the games in hand? I think most head coaches will definitely take the points. And the points total at the moment for Portsmouth has them safe. Whether or not that's the case when we come the 2nd of May, only time will tell. But this is a huge step forward for their ambitions to go on and play a 3rd consecutive season in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Ambitious shot from range, more hit and hope from Charlton. There have been numerous days and games this season where everything has clicked for Karen Hills' sides, and this is certainly not going to be one of those. Seconds away from not only losing this fixture, but their 27-game unbeaten streak in the Women's Super League 2 coming to an end. Skills. We have played the minimum 9 minutes. You can see what Jay Sadler thinks. He wants the whistle to be blown. Maybe we're going to tick into the 100th minute mark or tick past it before he gets confirmation of the victory. That may just be about it. It is! For the first time since the middle of November, Portsmouth can celebrate a league win. You can see just what it means to those players here at the Valley. 2 goals in the opening 9 minutes. Collins got the final touch of a bit of a mess inside the penalty area, and it was Georgie Freeland, direct from a free kick, who scores in back-to-back games against the league leaders. In terms of context, Charlton remain top. It's still a 9-point buffer to the chasing pack, but as we just saw, 3 points in the pocket, in the bag, and Portsmouth have moved out of the relegation spot. Full time at the Valley, Charlton Athletic 0, Portsmouth 2.
Next up for the men, back here in the action in Valley at 10 days' time, facing Norwich City in the Sky Bet Championship. That was 3 o'clock.
So look at those beaming smiles across those Portsmouth faces. This was no smash and grab. There was no fluke about this. It was an excellent top-tier performance. Against the odds, it has to be said. Not many would have predicted a scoreline like this, and especially the significance of those 2 early goals, which really set the tone. Just reward for the way they started the game from the off. They took it to the league leaders, and a further indication of just how competitive it is in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Jay Sadler and his team have had to wait an awful long time to get back into competitive action. And what a return to league football this has been. They've been watching on. Many have felt as though they've been slipping straight into relegation, but it's a moment to savour as they make their way over to those visiting supporters who've made the trip to London in the midweek fixture. Again, it was rearranged at short notice. It was originally scheduled to be played in the first weekend of April. Portsmouth are delighted with this rescheduling because it's provided a huge boost for them. And what a game they have going into the weekend. Certainly, you can't get much tougher than Charlton, so the prospect of facing 4th place Bristol City at home is one that they will relish. And it's a quick turnaround for Karen Hills and her team. It no longer will be an invincible season, a first league defeat since November 2024. 27 games is one incredible feat. But the night and the headlines and the praise are deservedly heading back to Hampshire. Portsmouth, we are staying up. That is the chant. There's a lot of football still yet to be played, and I think the wag of the finger there from Jay Sadler is a reminder this is not done yet. 5 more games to go, 15 more points to play for, and boy, do they look up for the fight. So let's have a look at the Barclays Women's Super League 2 standings. So certainly at the top, Charlton still with a 9-point lead over Birmingham City, but it could have stretched up to 12. So there's encouragement for Birmingham, Crystal Palace, Bristol City and Newcastle, and even Southampton as well. The fact that no one's significantly pulling away, they're still trying to stay in the slipstream of Charlton. And certainly at the foot, the big news of the evening is the fact that Portsmouth are no longer below the dotted line. They have moved themselves up, and they are 2 points clear. They have played 2 more games more than Ipswich, but this is a huge and much needed victory for the visitors tonight at the Valley. So confirmation of the 2 games that were played this Wednesday evening in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. As you just witnessed, Portsmouth 2, Charlton 0 at the Valley. A shock scoreline, but very deserved for Jay Sadler's outfit, and it finished all square up in the northeast. Sunderland leading by a goal to 0 heading into stoppage time before Nottingham Forest found themselves an equaliser.